Hi, my dear students. So, we are about to start our third semester classes, and for us, for economics, BA Economics, in the third semester, we have Microeconomics 2 as the main paper. So, before going to the class, let us look upon the main areas or the syllabus of our paper. So, there are four modules in microeconomics too, and initially we are dealing with the first module, and the first module is market structure, perfect competition. So we have to study something related to market, its functions, structure, different types of markets, and in that we have to focus on perfect competition, characteristics, demand, AR and MR curves, price determination, short run equilibrium of firm and industry, shutdown point, long run equilibrium, then cost, constant increasing and decreasing cost industries, welfare effects of government intervention and impact of a tax and subsidy. So this is the first module, and let us start with the first module, and the other modules we will deal with the other modules in the coming classes. Okay, so this is the syllabus, and we have some references also. Salvatore, Pindyck, Rubenfeld, Watson and Getz. So all these, Kautsianus, all these are very familiar to you. I think so. So in the first semester also you were dealing with all these reference books. So in this second part also we are going to deal with all these textbooks. Okay. So now let us move to the classes. So our first class, it is a very basic of our first module. Yes. So in our first module we saw that it is all about the market situation, the structure of market, different types of market and many other things related to this market. So before going to this structure, types, classification, features, etc., we have to get a very basic awareness or knowledge regarding the market. What is a market? What that term means. So the concept of market is any structure that allows buyers and sellers to exchange any type of goods, services and information. So that is the basic idea of the concept of a market. So it should have a buyer, it should have a seller, and there should be some goods or services or something to be bought and sold. So that is the market, and it creates the potential for transaction. Transaction in the sense that the people, some buyers are buying goods, sellers are selling goods. So this buying selling process is what is called transaction. That is the exchange of goods or services with or without money. So that exchange process is called transaction process. So the buyers must have something they can offer in exchange for the product to create a successful transaction. So buyers will get the product, sellers will get back the revenue for that particular product. So both will be satisfied. So this is the concept of a market, basic concept of a market situation. So coming to economic analysis. In economics, the term market does not refer to a particular place as such. So in a very common sense, we know that market is just a place where many people are coming. There are many sellers, many buyers, and there will be exchange of goods, services, etc. So that is the concept of market as far as a normal common man is concerned. But in economics, it refers to a market for a commodity or commodities. That means it is an arrangement whereby buyers and sellers come in close contact with each other directly or indirectly to sell and buy goods. So in economics, this market is taken in a more practical manner, in the sense that it includes a wide dimension. It does not focus on a particular place where some people are gathering and buying and selling goods. Rather than that, there are some people, buyers are there, sellers are there, and they come in contact with each other. It can be directly or indirectly. So it is not necessary that the buyers and sellers should come directly, face to face exchange of goods should be done. Nothing like that in economics, or in economic term we mean market is just an arrangement. It is not a fixed place. There is no location. There need not be any location. Rather, it is an arrangement with some people, some group of people, and that groups there are two category, buyers and sellers. So it refers to the whole area of operation of demand and supply. So demand and supply are the two factors in a market. So buyers will demand products or commodities, sellers will make supply of those products which have demand. So this demand supply balance should be maintained in a market, or demand supply arrangement is made in a market. So a market signifies any arrangement in which sale and purchase of goods take place. So let us just focus on some definitions provided by some economists. So the first is Carnot's definition. Here, the Carnot, he is a French economist. So according to Carnot, economists understand by the market, it is not any particular marketplace in which things are bought and sold, but the whole of any region in which buyers and sellers are in free intercourse with one another, that the prices of the same good tend to equality easily and quickly. So what he meant by this definition is that market is not a particular place, rather any place or any region of it can be a state, it can be a nation, the whole world, whole of any region is considered as a market. The only thing is that there should be buyers and there should be sellers. These groups should come in contact with each other, can be directly or indirectly. And also he focused upon the price of the goods. Prices of the same goods should remain equal. It should be accessed easily and quickly. That is also a main point. Okay, so from the Carnot's definition, we can take some essential points. First is, we saw it is a market is any region. It is not a particular fixed place, and there is no particular place where they have to assemble. So that is the first point we can take from that. Secondly, there must be business intercourse among the dealers. That means the buyers and sellers are the dealers here. There should be some interconnection or business connection between these dealers. They should keep in touch with each other so that both of these became aware of the prices as well as the demand and supply conditions in the market. So that is a very important point, that the buyers and sellers should have adequate knowledge regarding the prices of the goods. And the third point we can infer from the definition is that same price must rule for the same thing at the same time. That is a very important point. Prices of a particular good should be same everywhere. For example, for a particular product, if it is charged 10 rupees in one market, it should be charged 10 rupees in all other markets if that product is the same one. So that is the main concept in Carnot's definition. The prices of the same goods tend to equality easily and quickly. Okay, we can just look upon some more definitions. One is according to J. Evans, it is a market was a public place in a town where provision and any other objects were exposed for sale, but the word has been generalized so as to mean anybody or persons who are in intimate business relation and carry on extensive transaction in any commodity. So this definition also focuses any person, anybody, and there should be business relationship and there should be transaction of commodities. Another definition, according to Chapman, he said that market refers not necessarily a place but always commodity or commodities, buyers and sellers. That is the main point. Market means there should be commodities, there should be buyers, there should be sellers. All the definitions, according to Professor Beham, it defines a market as any area over which buyers and sellers are in close contact with each other directly or through dealers, and the prices in one part must affect the prices in other parts. So all these definitions deal with same concept. It is not a fixed place, it can be anywhere, any commodities, and there should be buyers, sellers as well as transaction of commodities. So from all these definitions, we can note some factors or some facts related to a market situation. So there should be an existence of a commodity. So from all the definition says about the commodity or commodities should be there in a market. Second is there should be buyers and sellers who are in touch with each other. That is also an important component in a market. Buyers should be there as well as sellers should be there. Only if there are buyers and sellers, there will be demand as well as supply of commodities. Then another is there is perfect competition among buyers and sellers, so that through such competition price of the commodity in question is influenced. So in perfect competition we can see that. So we will deal with perfect competition in the coming classes in a very detailed way. So here perfect competition should be there between sellers and buyers, so that there will be not much fluctuations in the prices. Okay, here are some conditions for market formation. So this is all these conditions we have already explained. So once again let us just go through it. So what are the different requirements or conditions for the formation of a market? So you people just imagine, just close your eyes, just imagine what are the different requirements of a market based on all these introduction, all these definitions. Yes, buyers should be there, sellers should be there. Then not only buyers and sellers will form a market. These buyers should have a purchasing power. They should be able to purchase the commodities which they require. So purchasing power should be there. So only if there is a purchasing power, then only the buyer can convert his wants or needs into effective demand. So if that demand have to be happened, he should have purchasing power. Then sellers should be there. Then means of communication between buyers and sellers. Only if there is a communication between buyers and sellers regarding the products, regarding the commodities, so that the preference can be indicated. So only by the communication, by sellers will understood what are the different demands of a consumer or a buyer, and only through the communication with seller, the buyer can get the information regarding different variety of products. Okay, so in earlier market forms, it was essential that there should be a face-to-face contact with buyer and seller in order to understand the market situation, or at least there should be some representatives of buyers and sellers in order to understand the market situation. But today we know that all the new technologies facilitate these buyers and sellers to make any transactions or to purchase any commodities, sell any commodities without any direct contact with each other. That is the technological advancement. Another is knowledge is balanced between buyers and sellers, so that one party cannot persistently exploit it. So in order to protect buyers as well as sellers from any type of exploitation, adequate knowledge should be there between buyers and sellers regarding the market information. Another is a medium of exchange should be there in order to facilitate transactions. So if there is a transaction, that means there is some medium of exchange. Money should be there, or credit card should be used. Some sort of medium should be there in order to buy and sell the product. It is not a free of cost program. We know that if we want to buy something, we have to pay for it. So that is the medium of exchange. So another concept is deferred payment, that is the ability to pay at a later date. So in some sort of business transactions, it may not be possible to make all the payment at that point itself. So in such situation, we are using the concept of deferred payment. It is the ability to pay at a later date. So there will be some agreement between the buyer and seller, and it will go like that, and at a later time he will be able to pay for the product. Then a legal system should be there, so that the buyers and sellers will be protected through civil law, and any type of problems, legal issues will be there if there is any type of legal issues. So a legal system should be there in order to protect the rights and welfare of these buyers and sellers. Property rights should be there, so that the sellers have the right to sell and buyers have the right to buy and own what they bought. So property rights should be there, and a well advanced financial system is also required in order to enable individuals and firms to borrow if they need to, and save when they have surplus funds. So a financial system is also a must. Now we are coming to the features of a market. So we have already explained all the introduction, all the concepts related to market, what are the different requirements for the formation of a market, what are the different conditions that are required, what are different definitions provided by different economists, and now we are focusing upon the features of market. Based on all the previous section or previous slides, we can bring together different features of the market. First is commodity. So in the first definition itself, we have explained many features, many concepts, or many features or characters. First is commodity. So if there is a market, it means there are some commodities. If there is no commodity, no market. So market does not refer to a particular place, rather it refers to some commodities. If there are commodities, there will be a market, because if there are commodities, there will be demand, there will be supply, and there will be market existing there. Second is area. Area means, we have already discussed, it is not a fixed location or fixed place, rather the whole area or region of operation of demand and supply. Wherever demand is there, wherever supply is there, market will be there. Third feature is buyers and sellers. These groups must be there in order to make a market. So what we need is only a group of potential sellers and potential buyers. Perfect competition should be there between buyers and sellers. And this concept of perfect competition, it is according to the modern economist, this concept of perfect competition is not practicable in all sense. There are some situations of imperfect competition also. So we can come to a conclusion that there should be perfect as well as imperfect competition. There will be existence of both these type of competitions, and we have to take it. Then there should be business relationship between buyers and sellers regarding the transaction of commodities, and perfect knowledge of the market regarding the demand of the customers, regarding their habits, taste, fashion, etc. should be there. Then one price for the same commodity, and this is possible through perfect competition, but sometimes it is not so practicable. Then there should be a sound monetary system. We have already discussed for the exchange of commodities. For the exchange of commodities, there should be a sound monetary system. And presence of speculators is also essential to supply business information. So if there are speculators, then there will be enough informations regarding the prices and the market situations. Okay, so these are the different features of market. So this is the basic class regarding introduction part regarding market, and some of the basic concepts we have dealt with. Thank you.